maybe we'll get back to that in a little bit. But yeah, like pretty much, one of the big bets that Gil and I are making is that the future is like very agent first, or the future is like where you can do everything inside of a chatbot. We already have a chatbot inside of Subscriber, and I know a lot of you use it. I also know that a lot of you guys live inside ChatGPT, live inside Codex, live inside your Claude. So that's why I think it'll be good for us. Like it's great that we spend a bunch of this time integrating these, and yeah. See, Mac, it gives a bunch of idea recommendation based on like querying certain pieces of data. And like maybe you could come to similar conclusions inside the Subscriber app, but it's just nice that you can do it of inside of the Claude app. And now on this voice over here, you can see it's like sometimes it runs into errors and then it would just like self-correct, which I think is pretty cool. But we'll just let this cook. You ran a prompt in Claude. How is this different to running this prompt within the chat option directly inside of Subscriber? Inside of Subscriber, let me think. What will be the difference? I think it will be pretty similar. Like, for example, there's just like some things that I think the Subscriber chat can't do that actually I think the Subscriber chat should be able to do. But there's some things that the Subscriber chat can't do right now. Like, for example, changing this voice is something that the Subscriber chat can't do. For one reason or another, I'll actually have to ask Gail why it's not able to do that. But it should be able to do that. But like right now, it's just not able to do that. That's one of the core differences. And I think this has like a much higher overview of like the data, where like, okay, it will go out there and it will like send certain queries for certain pieces of data based on what it understands about Subscriber, and then it will pull all of it and then it will do an analysis of it. And the advantage of this is that it also has a bunch of these different models that you can use, right? You can use like Fable 5, you can use Sonnet 5, you can use Haiku, you can use some of the older models if you would like. And really the advantage of doing that is, it consumes different amount of tokens, and some people like different models. If you like ChatGPT more, then you can use ChatGPT a bunch. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's this. I mean, I don't really just want to like sit here and talk over this. But one of the things that maybe you guys don't know is we have an API for writing scripts, looking up channels, for basically automating your workflow. So like what the MCP does now, I think the MCP, like what I've just demoed, is really good for project management, changing the voice, but you cannot use it to write scripts. So what that is really good for is aggregating certain pieces of data that you want inside of your Claude context that you previously wouldn't have access to. And what the API is really useful for, right? API is basically a way in order to use Subscriber outside of Subscriber, as in some of the execution tools, like looking up certain videos or writing scripts with the new script agent, generating thumbnails. You can do all of this inside of the YouTube API. That's what the API is for. Here, actually, we don't have that. It doesn't say that you can do thumbnail generation, but you can do thumbnail generation inside of this. And then also with the and then we also have a video API, right, where you can go ahead and generate like full videos with that, and that actually sits inside of the video dashboard over here. So inside of the video dashboard over here, if you go into API, like you'll be able to see a bunch of these different like it basically takes you through like exactly how to do it, and you can feed it to your agent in order to execute that. And yeah, there's this. Okay. And then while this is running, oh, perfect. This is done. There you go. Okay. So it takes this, like this is the voice. It has taken the script from inside of the voice and it has created this based on the subscriber guidelines. Okay. Which is basically a JSON file, which which allows us to, go ahead and modify the voice based on some scripts that you've done. And previously you had to do it inside of the subscriber, the subscriber dashboard, subscriber website, but you can do it all within here now.